This is a quick recap on the key takeaways of last Saturday's reading session. The session to discuss overcoming fear and leadership using the book Wanted, Backbencher, and Last Ranker Teacher. The key takeaways were overcoming fear, Roma's so what mantra, and sharing her own group discussion experience helped students overcome stage fright, proving that vulnerability and practical strategies are effective teaching tools. Leadership defined, brainstorming defined leadership as vision, determination, and the ability to turn adversity into opportunity. Examples such as Richard Branson for dyslexia and Thomas Edison 1000 failures show that success is built on persistence. Teaching philosophy, the core lesson is every child must succeed. Teaching is about helping all students, the tortoise and the hare, reach the finish line, not just focusing on high achievers. Logistics update. The session time changes to 3:30 p.m. starting 4th July, and the new simpler domain can now links directly to the Teachers Academy website. Okay. So the topics we discussed last time, overcoming fear and stage fright. The problem was about students in the Wanted Backbencher were paralyzed by stage fright, fearing a repeat of a past assembly disaster in which they failed to use memorized material. The solution was that teacher Roma used a multi-pronged approach. She shared her own experience of overcoming fear in a high stakes group discussion to humanize the challenge. Practical strategy was that she replaced memorization with print based speaking, which proved more effective for the students. Empowerment introduced the so what mantra to reframe mistakes and audience judgment, helping students manage anxiety. Defining leadership through brainstorming. Roma led a brainstorming session to define leadership qualities, moving from abstract concepts to concrete examples. Key qualities identified were vision and drive, being a people's person, positivity and motivation, initiating change, relentless pursuit of goals, transforming difficulties into opportunities. And inspiring examples discussed were that of Richard Branson, who overcame dyslexia to build a business empire, demonstrating the power of personality and persistence. Bethany Hamilton returned to surfing after a shark attack at 13, exemplifying extreme determination. Thomas Edison, his 1000 failures before the light bulb were reframed as productive learning, showing that leaders are motivated by setbacks. Dhirubhai Ambani's Rags to Riches story, showing how to convert adversary into opportunity. The assembly presentation and its lessons. The class's presentation on leadership was a success, with students using their new strategies effectively. The key moments were Jeevan, who opened with humor and questions, proving himself to be a natural communicator. Supriya stumbled but recovered using the so what mantra, demonstrating resilience. Student initiative. The students surprised a critical teacher by responding to her challenge and concluding with a powerful Gandhi quote on collaboration, reinforcing the session's themes. Just give me a second. Yeah. The student surprised a critical teacher by responding to her challenge and concluding with a powerful Gandhi quote on collaboration, reinforcing the session's themes. The power of reflection and the Teachers Academy. A new Teachers Academy video was shown to emphasize the importance of reflection. Video message reading and reflection are essential for independent thought, preventing individuals from being swept away by the tsunami of online information. Participation reflections. Reading enables deep reflection, leading to personal and societal improvement. Manisha, reflection aligns with social emotional learning, fostering self awareness and better decision making. Website update. The Teachers Academy has a new, simpler domain. Next steps, all participants to submit reflections focusing on the theme every child must succeed. And the new session time is 3:30, which we have done today. We have started at 3:30. And Sneha is to create and share a poster announcing the time change to 3:30, which she duly did, and prepare the next chapter, Heart versus Mind, for the 4th July session. So that's the takeaway and the report of the last week. I also on WhatsApp read a wonderful message or reflection also. Yes, Neha, you want to say something?
Ma'am, the Teacher Academy has a new and simpler domain, that is diljito.com.
Yes,
Diljito.com.
diljito.com. Right. Great. All right. So there is a reflection. Sneha, are we going to read that also? Reading about fear and courage. There was a reflection, beautiful reflection by Rekha Sharma. Rekha Sharma, you are here. Would you like to read your reflection, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please
Thank you
read.
so much, ma'am, for giving this opportunity.
Not at all.
Uh,
Yeah.
As a teacher, I am deeply reminded by the chapter that education is not merely about academic achievement, but about helping students discover their potential, confidence, and purpose in life. Roma's journey shows that every child, whether a topper or a last ranker, carries dreams and abilities that can flourish when guided with encouragement and belief. I am particularly inspired by how Roma addressed her students' fear of failure and rejection, emphasizing
What
that
happened? Rekha, are you there?
Ma'am, should I?
Sneha, can you hear me?
lead
Yeah, yeah.
learners to
Yeah, yeah.
overcome their
We
fears.
lost you in between, Rekha. Just read that
Yeah.
sentence once again, please. Roma's
Okay, ma'am.
journey shows from
Okay.
there.
Okay, ma'am. Uh, Roma addressed her students' fear of public speaking by creating opportunity for participation, teamwork, and self-expression rather than simply delivering lectures. Her approach reflects the true role of a teacher as a mentor who motivates learners to overcome their fears, develop leadership qualities, and believe in themselves. The assembly presentation demonstrates that students learn best when they are actively involved, trusted with responsibilities, and allowed to make mistakes without fear of judgment. The message that dreaming big and striving to become good human beings matter more than examination scores resonates strongly with my own philosophy of teaching. This chapter on fear and courage reinforces my belief that effective teaching is rooted in empathy, encouragement, and the ability to recognize hidden potential in every learner. As a teacher, I feel responsible not only for imparting knowledge but also for nurturing confidence, resilience, and aspirations so that students can transform their dream into reality and contribute positively to society. Thank you.
Very nicely written, Rekha. And some of the very important salient features of that chapter have been reflected upon by you. Yes, Kunal, your hand is raised.
Just to tell you, miss, I met Rekha ji today.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
You're in
and
Balia.
yeah, right now I'm in Valia, and
Okay.
I should say that I just met her, and whatever she has written is true in her.
True about her. Right.
Yeah, and at the same time, she just finished the session. I don't know if she has reached home or not, but she is
Oh.
in your class.
She's
So you
in
can
my
think,
class. Oh, very
yeah.
good.
So
Let's
you,
give her a clap. Very well
Thank
done,
you.
yeah.
रेखा जी.
Thank you so much,
हम
ma'am.
लोग
Thank you so
आपका
much, ma'am.
जो डेडिकेशन है उसे अप्रिशिएट करते हैं.
Thank
अ,
you.
पूजा
Ma'am,
चौहान.
our
पूजा
more
चौ
team members already added in here. Zara ma'am and
Right.
Sangeeta ma'am. They also
Okay.
joined.
Oh, good, good. So, Pooja Chauhan, would you like to read what you have written? Are you here? She's from Balia. So, is Pooja Chauhan here? मुझे पूजा चौहान नहीं दिख रही है, पर मैं पढ़ती हूँ पूजा ने क्या लिखा है. Today's lesson gave me a very important message that every child must succeed. Every student is different and has their own strengths. Some students learn quickly, while others need a little more time and support. As teachers, we should encourage all children and help them move forward with confidence. Success is not only about earning good marks, it is also about becoming a good, confident person. When we trust our students and motivate them, they begin to believe in themselves. This reflection reminded me that no child should be left behind and every child deserves a chance to succeed. All right, very nice again, Pooja. I don't think she's here today, but Sneha, we can go on to reading the main text now. Can you please display the text?
Ma'am, do you want to do discussion first?
Um, I think we will discuss the at the end of the lesson after we read, because we've had a lot of takeaways and a lot of reflections on the last chapter. So we shall connect it with the next one. All right. So today's chapter is heart versus mind. मेरे हिसाब से ये बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट चैप्टर है, क्योंकि अक्सर हमारे मन में जो बात होती है, जो हार्ट हम जिसे कहते हैं, और दिमाग में जो बात होती है, कभी कभी उसमें काफी डिफरेंसेस हो जाते हैं. हम लोग कहते हैं दिमाग से सोच के काम करो, अपने हृदय से नहीं. और अक्सर हम ये भी कहते हैं कि हृदय से सोचोगे तो अलग किस्म का काम होगा. तो यहाँ पे देखते हैं रोमा का क्या तजुर्बा है. Did you speak to the purchase department of Windsor Palace Hotel, Papa? Did they tell you why they are not renewing the contract with us this year? Roma had asked her father at the dining table the evening before. Sunil had remained quiet for a minute and then looked at Mandira surreptitiously as if asking for a sign. But Roma had caught that fleeting look between her parents. Putting down her soup spoon and looking at her parents suspiciously, she had said clearly, "Please, if you are trying to hide something from me, then don't, because you will be hurting me eventually. I tell you everything, don't I?" "It's not that I want to hide anything," Sunil said slowly, buttering a slice of bread to buy some time before answering his daughter, who would be very stubborn and persistent when she wanted something. "What is it, Papa? Are we in some kind of financial trouble?" Roma had been suspicious about this ever since she heard about the contract. Something fishy was going on. Mr. Singh, the purchase manager, said the decision not to renew with us had nothing to do with the business. It was personal. And we aren't in any kind of financial trouble, at least for now. So stop worrying. Sunil's tone, as usual, had a note of invincible faith and conviction that everything would be all right no matter what. "I somehow knew it, Papa," Roma had sighed softly. No one could fault Mathur Poultry Supplies. Their goodwill in the market was unmatchable. So was Ravi the personal reason? She had wondered in alarm. Influential families had influential contacts to help them manipulate business decisions. Well, it seems the order came directly from the MD of the hotel. a friend of the Srivastav family. I think Ravi is involved in all this somehow, Sunil had revealed, confirming Roma's suspicions. He felt miserable seeing his daughter look so let down. Her face had turned pale the moment he told her about Ravi's possible involvement. But she had to know. I'm so sorry, Papa, Roma had said, wiping her mouth with her napkin and then unconsciously twisting the corner of the yellow material around her finger. तो आप सबको याद होगा कि रवि रोमा का मंगेतर था जिसने एंगेजमेंट इनकी टूट गई थी तो इनके फादर का जो बिजनेस का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट था ये इनके पर्सनल फैमिली की बात हो रही है तो वो ये उसके इन्फ्लुएंस के कारण ये स्टॉप हो गया था. Why, Roma? You haven't done anything, and we have fought bigger battles in life together, haven't we? Mandira had intervened, taking the napkin away from Roma's fidgeting fingers and patting her hand gently. I have always told you that when God closes a door, he sometimes opens a window. Sunil had said to Roma, who had looked as if all the troubles of the world were resting on her shoulders. So, which window has God opened up, Papa? She had asked sadly. We are participating in a tender floated by Mountain Residency Spa and Resort to supply the entire poultry requirement to all their specialty restaurants. They have two big budget properties coming up in Mussoorie in January. Keeping in mind that we have quoted quite low, I am hopeful that we will get that business. Then we won't need business from anywhere else because they will keep us busy throughout the year. Now go to sleep like a good girl. You're getting dark shadows under your eyes. You need your energy to watch over your adventurous kids, Sunil had laughed. Roma had not been able to sleep that night. When Ravi had threatened her the other day, he had meant every word, she thought, feeling very disappointed with him. How could she have ever loved such a selfish person, she wondered in self disgust. Moreover, her fairly handsome salary from Arctic Air had been substituted for the present by the meager remuneration from the school. This would add to their financial woes. The next morning, Roma got down from the school bus to walk into the campus without even realizing when the distance between home and school had been covered. Surprisingly, she had even sat through the constant chattering of the kids on the bus without saying a word. Today, nothing seemed to register in her mind. Though her father had said nothing, Roma knew that without the business from the Windsor Palace, their finances would take a hit, if not immediately, then a few months later. Miss Roma, Jacob sir wants to have a quick word with you immediately. He is on his morning round near Commis, the junior block. Rupali, the front office in charge, told her. As Roma quickly walked towards Commis, she thought what a lovely name it was for the sunny yellow building with its burnt orange roof. It was a Latin word meaning courteous, kind, and friendly. Commis housed very energetic pre-teenagers, sorry. She saw Jacob Sir in serious discussion with the horticulturist Phalgun Mehra, who had landscaped the entire school campus. I want a live butterfly garden right next to Commis. This will give the children invaluable lessons on the phenomena of metamorphosis and life cycles and also connect their life sciences studies with nature, he said earnestly. Good morning, Jacob, sir. That sounds very exciting. A real butterfly garden on the campus, Roma exclaimed. Phalgun Mehra smiled at the cheerful teacher he had secretly nicknamed Ladybird because he had often seen her in different combinations of red and black. She often discussed trees, beetles, butterflies, and landscapings with him whenever she had the time. She was definitely a child of nature. Good morning, Roma. Yes, Falgun is working on a very interesting concept of creating a live butterfly garden in the junior block. It will be a great learning experience for the children, Jacob replied with satisfaction. So, which plants do you prefer, Jacob? Falgun asked, making quick notes in his small pocket diary. How about plenty of phlox? Jacob asked. Yes, phlox bears beautiful clusters of red, pink, lavender, salmon, or white blossoms throughout the summer. Their lovely scent is as delightful as their sweet nectar, which the butterflies love. Falgun replied, laughing in his open hearted way and revealing the gap between his front teeth, which made him look comical. And purple cornflower. Both plants thrive in the same growing conditions and visually complement each other. Also, milkweed and parsley, which will bring the monarch and black swallowtail butterflies. Roma added in excitement, unable to restrain her enthusiasm. You seem to know quite a lot about plants, Roma. All right then, Falgun. Let me know what else you require for the garden, and I will have that sanctioned. Jacob told the plump, middle aged Falgun and then stepped out of the fenced enclosure onto the narrow pathway to walk towards the main building. I know a few things about plants and butterflies because of my father. He is very fond of his little garden and keeps telling me about plants and insects. In fact, it is his favorite topic, Roma told her companion as she walked along beside him. Hmm, he sounds like an interesting person. Well, since I am in school today, I thought I would take the opportunity to meet and ask you about the progress of the classes you have taken over from Sonam. Has there been any change in their academic performance? He inquired, looking at Roma expectantly. Now, I would like all of you to notice a few things here. एक तो बात यह है कि ये जो कहानी है, ये रोमा इसकी सेंट्रल कैरेक्टर है, तो हमें ये भी अप्रिशिएट करना पड़ेगा कि रोमा के जीवन में जो हो रहा है और उसको एक कहानी की तौर पे इस ऑथर ने हमें बताया है इतने खूबसूरती से कि उसके लाइफ के बारे में बताते बताते उन्होंने स्कूल के बारे में, बच्चों को पढ़ाने के बारे में और बच्चों को साइकोलॉजिकली कैसे हैंडल करना होता है उसके बारे में कितना कुछ हमें बताया है। और यहाँ पे एक और चीज बताई है कि इनफॉर्मल तरीके से स्कूल मैनेजमेंट किस तरह से टीचर्स के साथ एक रिलेशनशिप भी बना सकता है और एक नॉन थ्रेटनिंग एटमॉस्फेयर में टीचर्स के साथ बात करके उनके काम के बारे में पता भी कर सकता है। तो यहाँ रोमा एक टीचर है स्कूल में और उनके साथ बातें करते करते स्कूल के मैनेजमेंट के और ओनर के यानी मैनेजिंग ट्रस्टी में से एक जेंटलमैन उनके साथ बातें करते करते उनको पूछते हैं कि आपने जो क्लास सोनम से ली थी उस क्लास का प्रोग्रेशन कैसे चल रहा है। और रोमा उनको जवाब देती है। और अभी रोमा के बारे में हमने ये भी सीखा कि रोमा को सिर्फ बच्चों को ही हैंडल करना नहीं, उसको कई और चीजों में भी इंटरेस्ट थे और उनको पेड़ पौधे, बटरफ्लाईज, फूलों के बारे में भी काफी कुछ जानकारी थी। तो यहाँ पे वो इस जेंटलमैन को क्या कहती है कि देयर परफॉर्मेंस इन द फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर wasn't good at all. Many failed in math, science, and social science. But there has been a lot of improvement since then. I have just received the mid-semester marks for math and science. Only Shreyas has failed in math by 2 marks. and Anthony in science by 4 marks. Their social science teacher, Miss Ketner, is still consolidating the mark list. But she told me yesterday that no one has failed in her subject, though Anthony and Shreyas are borderline, Roma replied. That sounds much better than I had anticipated. And what about their behavior, especially the habitual offenders? He dreading hearing what she would say. He had been receiving regular mails from the class coordinator and teachers about the aggressive and menacing behavior of some of the students of that class. Paul had sent him a mixed review. They had won the Inter-School Football Cup for the third time, but the coach's hand had been slapped off offensively when he tried to straighten the collar of one of the players before the match. Roma was silent for some moments. As class teacher, she had developed a close bond with most of her students, but it was a fragile thread. Revealing the secrets of recent events meant breaching that hard-earned trust. It would also risk all the effort she had invested into strengthening her connection with them. But not telling the management about incidents and problems was also professionally and ethically wrong. In the tug of war between her affection for the class and duty to the management, the latter lost. They are trying to improve, is what I would like to say at present. They need more time, Jacob, sir, Roma answered cautiously. Well, we have no choice but to give them time. And what about the sixth graders Sonam was handling? Did they finally adjust to you? I remember they were upset when she applied for long leave, Jacob asked. It took me a long time to get them to accept me. Roma laughed at the memory how she had struggled initially to make them like her. Whatever she taught wasn't as good as clear as Miss Sona. In fact, they're counting the days, waiting for her to come back, Roma said, feeling a little envious of the loving bond between the children and their English teacher. Yes, I know. They love her because she is as playful and impish as they are. Jacob recalled seeing her play blind man's buff with the class on the second lawn. She had not imagined a teacher could play such games once the kids grew beyond kindergarten. They're very happy that she is coming back in less than 2 months. In fact, they have started making a 4-foot tall welcome card, Roma told him. You have done a good job yourself, Roma, said Jacob, smiling. Thank you for the chance to teach here, in spite of the fact that I came from a non-teaching professional background. Roma hoped he would give her the reference letter she needed so desperately. As she walked back towards the senior block, she felt quite optimistic that everything would work out well. Once Sonam was back and she had those letters of recommendation, she would be able to get back to her old job and take Pia home with her. It had been almost 4 months since she had last seen Pia. Roma had promised the little girl that she would very soon go home. The last time Pia had stayed overnight, they had pasta and chocolate sundae for dinner, her favorites. At night, Roma had pulled out her old school albums to show the child pictures of her mother when they had been in school together. The little one, who had 2 of her front teeth missing, had gurgled in delight at the picture of Suman and Roma dressed as goblins for a play. Both were wearing green pantsuits, matching, pointed caps, and their noses and cheeks were painted red. Yes, you look like Mama, Pia had said innocently, bringing tears to Roma's eyes. I am also your Mama, she had answered, vowing to fight every battle to get Pia home. She owed it to her best friend. Roma was so engrossed in thinking about Pia that she walked right into a group of noisy students. They too did not notice her as they were busy looking at the person punished outside the staff room. The short and dark, curly haired girl was Rakhi from her class. She was weeping hysterically, wiping the tears running down her cheeks and chin with unsteady hands. Her back was pressed against the wall as she tried to shrink behind the bulletin board to escape the prying eyes of passing teachers and mocking students. Why have you been punished? One asked, laughing scornfully, making Rakhi almost dwindle into the wall. Others identified her, saying, Aren't you Rakhi from class 10? Roma almost tripped as she ran towards Rakhi. In a calm voice, she requested the gathered students to disperse and to go to their classes and stood blocking the distressed girl from view. What happened, Rakhi? Who has asked you to stand here? Roma asked, wiping the trembling girl's tears. They were fiery finger marks on her right cheek. Roma knew how humiliating it could be to stand outside a classroom, and this was the staff room. She too had once been made to stand outside her class when she had been caught cheating in a history exam. She had prayed for the ground to open and swallow her so no one would see. I haven't done anything, Miss Roma. Sumita man found me talking to Arjun and misunderstood. Rakhi sobbed. Roma guessed what must have happened. In this situation, though Rakhi was her student, Roma was helpless. She could not ethically cross the fine line which existed in every professional working place. She was a junior employee. Trying to help or save Rakhi would mean war with a senior teacher, a war that had been brewing for some time now. Roma dialed Uttara's number. The phone kept ringing. Roma prayed silently and dialed again. Pick up the phone, Uttara. This time, thankfully, there was an answer. Hi, Roma. Uttara's voice came from the other end. Hi, Uttara. I'm down with flu. Is everything all right? I'm so sorry to hear that, Uttara. Yes, everything is all right. I didn't know you hadn't come in today. Get well soon. Roma disconnected, feeling ever more worried. Uttara rarely took leave, and it would be unfair to disturb her today, no matter how urgent the situation was. Unfortunately, even Mrs. Kapoor was away attending a conference. So you see here how again Roma has come to the rescue of a girl. ये लड़की को क्लास से बाहर निकाला था, बड़ी लड़की थी क्लास 10th की. उसको बाहर देखकर बाकी सारे बच्चे मजाक भी उड़ा रहे थे, उससे जाके पूछ भी रहे थे तुम क्लास 10th की राखी हो कि नहीं. तो रोमा ने कितनी बढ़िया तरीके से जाके उसके सामने खड़े होकर बाकी बच्चों को कहा जाइए अपने क्लास में, और इस लड़की से बात करके पता किया कि उसको क्या हुआ. और उसने जब कारण बताया तो रोमा को लगा कि अगर वो इंटरफियर करेगी यहाँ पे तो एक सीनियर टीचर के खिलाफ जाना होगा, और ये स्कूल के कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट से मेल नहीं खाएगा, ये ठीक नहीं रहेगा प्रोटोकॉल के हिसाब से. तो उसने ये तय किया कि उसे उत्तरा से बात करनी चाहिए इस सिचुएशन में. लेकिन उस दिन उत्तरा जो स्कूल काउंसलर है वो छुट्टी पे थी. तो रोमा स्टाफ रूम में जाती है. शी वॉक्ड इनटू द स्टाफ रूम to where Sumita sat in deep discussion with her best friends, Ranjita and Riya. Excuse me, Sumita, could I have a word with you? Word about what, Roma? If it's about the girl standing outside, don't bother, because I'm not open to any discussion, she retorted, looking at the other two teachers with a pointed look that said, Didn't I tell you? What has she done? asked Roma politely. Well, you know how your brats are. I found that shameless girl holding hands with Arjun on the terrace when the rest of the school had gathered for morning assembly in the auditorium. If they want to hold hands, let them go elsewhere. Why do all this nonsense on the school premises? I asked Arjun to stand near the coordinator's cabin, but I want Rakhi to stand outside the staff room so that everyone knows what she had been doing. She's supposedly one of the best students in the class. Well, that's history now. This is what happens when they lack strict and experienced teachers in the classroom. Sumita spat the words at Roma. Why don't we talk to Arjun and Rakhi confidentially instead of punishing them like this? Roma suggested, keeping a tight rein on her anger. I don't want to talk to them. I will be talking to their parents instead once they come to school in an hour, Sumita stated. Roma told herself it was high time to draw battle lines. She was not going to let anyone, senior or otherwise, humiliate her students. Since Arjun and Rakhi are in my class, I take the responsibility of talking to their parents. Seeing is not always believing, Sumita. I don't think it fair to condemn without giving them a chance to justify their actions. It is wrong to make a public spectacle of the situation. It is also wrong to jump to conclusions. It is unfair to humiliate students and their parents in this manner without giving them the benefit of doubt. Roma spoke quietly, but she was shaking with anger within. I've been teaching for 15 years, and now you claim you know more than me? Are you going to teach me how wayward students should be disciplined? How dare you talk to me like this, Roma? Sumita spluttered in a rage, looking for support from the other two, who nodded faithfully at her every word. You have compelled me to talk to you like this. I am taking Rakhi to class and I shall talk to the parents when they arrive. You should have spoken to me before punishing my students. And don't ever slap my students in future. Roma walked out of the staff room, leaving behind three flabbergasted teachers staring at each other. So ये एक अनयूजुअल स्टाफ रूम का सिचुएशन है जहां पे रोमा जैसी जूनियर टीचर एक सीनियर टीचर को कन्फ्रंट करके उसको सही बात ही कह रही हैं कि मैं क्लास टीचर हूं और अगर आपने मेरी क्लास की बच्ची को पनिश करना था तो मेरे से बात कर लेती और ये ऐसी बात नहीं थी जिसके लिए आप इस तरीके का पनिशमेंट देती उन्हें पहले समझ तो लेती बात को उनसे बात तो कर लेती लेकिन जो सीनियर टीचर थी वो बहुत नाराज हो गई थी और उन्होंने रोमा पर जब आवाज उठा के कुछ कहा तो रोमा भी चुप नहीं रही उन्होंने भी कहा कि मैं और बर्दाश्त नहीं करूंगी मैं इस लड़की को क्लास ले जा रही हूं और कभी आइंदा से मेरे क्लास के बच्चों को आप ना डिसिप्लिन करने की कोशिश नहीं करेंगे what the Sumita said, unable to complete the sentence. She was astounded at the new teacher's audacity. Roma sat in Uttara's cabin, having sought her permission first. Arjun and Rakhi sat opposite her. I hope you know you have invited very serious trouble this time, Roma said, warning both teenagers. Yes, miss. We are sorry, but it's not what everyone thinks, Rakhi answered impatiently, her voice hoarse from crying. We were just talking. What is wrong with that? Arjun asked. Roma understood he was not being offensive but direct. He didn't think they had done anything wrong. Arjun, if you were just talking, why did you have to go to the terrace? Roma asked. So we could discuss the problem privately, Arjun answered. Discussing something with Rakhi is not a problem. But discussing something with Rakhi on the terrace, a prohibited area, is definitely a problem, Roma explained sternly. We didn't know the terrace is a prohibited area, Rakhi said. Roma thought it was going to be tough playing this cat and mouse game. They still had not understood they were in hot water. Are you also going to tell me you didn't know you were bunking the morning assembly? Arjun and Rakhi looked at each other. We knew, Arjun replied. So you agree that what you did today was wrong? You bunked the assembly, your first mistake. You went to a prohibited area, your second mistake. But we weren't doing anything wrong, just talking, Arjun said, a hint of defiance in his voice. It was important that people believed what they claimed was true. I believe you. But why go to an isolated place to talk? And why couldn't you wait for assembly to finish? Roma asked questions she knew they would not be able to dodge or deny the justice of the questions. When Arjun and Raki remained silent, she continued, both those actions have given a wrong message to the school administration, teachers, and other students. Moreover, it has morphed just talking into questionable behavior. Roma explained the situation without mincing words. We are sorry, Raki apologized. What was so urgent? What is the problem? Roma asked gently, trying to draw their trust. Rakhi wants to break up with me, Arjun answered accusingly. What? Asked Roma in an astounded voice. She told herself this was a new generation and it wouldn't be right to be judgmental and condemn them for the way they thought and lived. Actually, we have been in a relationship for the past 6 months and now she wants to break up. How can she just walk out without thinking about me? Arjun asked, looking at Rakhi pointedly. I didn't say I wanted to break up. I just said I needed more time because this relationship was affecting my life at home and in school, Rakhi replied. Roma looked at them, both, her head moving from one to the other, like a spectator at a tennis match as they argued the problem. Well, it is not affecting my life, Arjun said, shrugging casually. It is not affecting your life because I don't tell you to spend all your time with me. I don't say, don't talk to other girls, like you keep telling me not to speak to other boys. I'm tired of suspicious accusations every time a guy talks to me. Raki lashed out in anger as she wiped the tears from her dark eyes. Just said not to talk to Jeevan so much, Arjun argued defensively. Whatever. Have I ever asked you not to talk to Supriya so much? Because of your possessive behavior, nobody wants to talk to me. I am even out of my own group because Charmi and Vartikanya feel I am no longer the same person I was before going out with you, Raki said. Going out? Roma asked, trying to understand teen terminology. Going out means being in a relationship, Arjun replied patiently. Oh, nodded Roma. Okay, I think I understand a little of what this is all about. Why can't you just be friends? That's what we were before getting into a relationship. It was Anthony who had told me that Arjun liked me very much. Even Charmi, Rudrika, and Vartikanya somehow convinced me that we were perfect for each other. Raki sounded puzzled. And now the same friends think I have changed and have no time for them. Roma, who had been sipping water, put the glass down as she choked and spluttered at the words. She wiped the water on her chin with a tissue as she tried to comprehend teen emotions. We weren't like this when we were teenagers, she thought. Okay, we'll stop here. We have about a few more minutes. So, is there any thought? I hope we have understood the teen psychology over here. And this is a book which is recently written, but not as if it was written today. So maybe today's problems are even different. पर ऐसे प्रॉब्लम्स टीनेजर्स के साथ बहुत होते हैं, स्कूल में भी होते हैं। और ये एक अच्छा चैप्टर है जिससे कि हमें पता लग रहा है कि टीनेजर्स के क्या क्या इश्यूज होते हैं, और उनको समझने के लिए एडल्ट टीचर्स को क्या समझना चाहिए, खुद उनके ग्रोथ के बारे में, उनके मेंटल सिचुएशन के बारे में, साइकोलॉजी के बारे में, और किस तरह से इनके साथ पेश आना चाहिए, किस तरह से इनको हैंडल करना चाहिए। मुझे लगता है कि हम में से जो भी सीनियर स्कूल्स में पढ़ा रहे हैं, हम सभी को इस तरीके का तजुर्बा होगा, और हम जिनके बच्चे भी हैं इस उम्र के, हमें भी इस तरीके का तजुर्बा है कि ये जैसे टीन एज और एडोलेसेंस बच्चे होते हैं, इनके साथ किस तरीके के प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं, किस तरीके का व्यवहार हमें उनके साथ करना पड़ता है। ये बहुत ही नाजुक स्थिति होती है, पर यहाँ पे हमें बहुत सोच समझ के बच्चों से बात करनी पड़ती है। उनका जो मेंटल स्थिति है उसको ख्याल में रखना पड़ता है। तो कई सारी चीजें आ जाती है टीचिंग करते करते, और तजुर्बे के साथ बहुत कुछ हम लोग सीख लेते हैं। लेकिन हम यहाँ देख रहे हैं कि रोमा जो है कम उम्र की है, पहले कभी स्कूल में पढ़ाया नहीं है, लेकिन उसमें इतनी मैच्योरिटी है क्योंकि उसने बड़े दिल से अपने जीवन को देखा है, बड़े दिल से उसने दिमाग और दिल दोनों का उपयोग किया है, और उसने देखा है कि अपने बारे में भी सोच के, अपने एडोलेसेंट स्टेज के बारे में सोच के, वो इन एडोलेसेंट्स के साथ भी ठीक ठीक सा व्यवहार कर सकती हैं, ठीक इनको भी ट्रीट कर सकती हैं। तो अगर आप में से कोई कुछ शेयर करना चाहता है, कुछ पूछना चाहता है, बताना चाहता है, तो प्लीज डू सो। हमारे पास 5 मिनट और हैं। अगर आप कुछ कहना चाहती हैं, कुछ बताना चाहती हैं, क्या आप में से कोई है जिसके साथ ऐसा कोई एक्सपीरियंस हुआ है और आप शेयर करना चाहेंगे कि आपको भी कभी कठिनाई आई है टीनेजर्स को हैंडल करते समय? और ऐसे सिचुएशंस तो अक्सर हम देखते हैं, किसी भी इलाके में स्कूल हो, चाहे वो रूरल एरिया में हो या सिटी में हो, छोटे टाउन में हो, जहां पे भी टीनेज बच्चे होते हैं, उनका जो ग्रोइंग अप स्टेज होता है, जो जिसे हम एडोलेसेंट स्टेज कहते हैं, टीनेजर्स का स्टेज कहते हैं, उसमें कई किस्म के प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं। हार्मोनल ग्रोथ होता है, कई तरीके के जिज्ञासा होती है मन में, अगेन अबाउट द ऑपोजिट सेक्स। वो और कुछ जानना चाहते हैं, एक्सपेरिमेंट करना चाहते हैं कई चीजों के साथ, और इनको करते करते स्कूल में भी कई बार ये कुछ चीजें कर बैठते हैं जो इन्हें करना नहीं चाहिए होता है। लेकिन एक समझदार टीचर जो है ये सारी बातें समझकर उन लोगों के साथ किस तरह का व्यवहार करना चाहिए, इसके बारे में सोच के उसके बाद ही उनको उनके साथ डील करते हैं। सो इट्स अ गुड चैप्टर टू अंडरस्टैंड मोर अबाउट adolescent behavior. In this way, this book has been extremely valuable, and it's like an eye opener in many cases. So, is there anyone who would like to say anything? Yes, Sandeep, sir.
I want to thank you. When I hear your commentary, जब मैं आपका जो ब्यौरा है किताब के बारे में सुनता हूँ, तो उसमें से बहुत सारी चीजें मुझे अपने क्लासरूम में भी ले जाती है। अब जैसे आज वाला था, इससे मुझे सोशल्स याद आए स्कूल में, कैसे हमारा झगड़ा होता था लड़की की अटेंशन के लिए। तो मैं आपसे ये शेयर करना चाहता था,
जी
क्योंकि
जी।
हमारा ऑल बॉयज बोर्डिंग स्कूल था और एक ऑल गर्ल्स स्कूल है देहरादून में, जिनका हमारे साथ एक रिलेशनशिप
सोशल
बनाने
होता
का
था।
जरिया था।
हाँ।
तो ये सब चीजें हमारे पास होती थी, पर बंदा कुछ नहीं बदला इतने सालों में। ये बड़ी
नहीं,
अजीब चीज है, मैं ये कहना चाहता था। आप जो इसमें पढ़ रहे थे, आपने कहा कि ये आज समय बदला। मेरे ख्याल कुछ नहीं बदला, बिकॉज मैं तो 40 साल पुरानी बात कर रहा हूँ, तब भी ऐसा ही था, अब भी ऐसा ही है। जो टीचर के सामने परिस्थिति है क्लास में ह्यूमन रिलेशनशिप की, वो नहीं बदली।
एक चीज संदीप, एक चीज बदली है, एज लेवल और भी कम हो गया है बदमाशी का।
हाँ
एक्सपोजर ज्यादा हो गया है।
वो मैं आपसे
हाँ,
मानता हूँ बिकॉज
बिकॉज
ऑफ
पहले जो प्रॉब्लम्स हमें 16 साल के बच्चों के साथ होती थी, अब 13 साल के बच्चों के साथ भी वो प्रॉब्लम्स, या 12 साल के बच्चों के साथ भी ये प्रॉब्लम्स होनी शुरू हो गई हैं।
वृंदा जी,
तो
दुनिया में डेटा है कि
एग्जैक्टली,
एडोलेसेंस की एज कम हो गई है।
कम हो गई है, बिल्कुल।
तो ये नई चीज है जो
हाँ,
साइंटिस्ट ने भी देखा है
यस,
कि एडोलेंस की स्टेज इन द लास्ट 100 years 15 साल से 11-12 पे आ गई है।
एब्सोल्युटली,
अब
यस।
ये कैसा हुआ, ये तो खैर ये रिसर्च ही बताएगी। परंतु टीचर्स के लिए परिस्थिति बिगड़ गई, और
या
क्योंकि अगर हम जब टीचर्स को सेगमेंट करते हैं प्राइमरी, मिडिल और सीनियर
या
में,
या
जो टीचर्स हम सीनियर में देते हैं और जो टीचर्स हम मिडिल में देते हैं, हम उनको डिफरेंट स्किल सेट्स देख के देते हैं।
बिल्कुल,
तो
बिल्कुल।
इसलिए हमारे लिए ये चैलेंज आ गया कि जो टीचर्स हैंडल करते हैं यंगर बच्चों को, उनके लिए मेजर चेंज चेंज आया है इन द एनवायरनमेंट।
एब्सोल्युटली,
और
या,
टीचर्स के लिए जो लर्निंग कर्व है वो बहुत छोटा हो गया है।
ट्रू,
ये थोड़ा सा चेंज आया है इन द डिजिटल।
या,
अब तो
या,
बहुत सारे टीचर हैं आज, आई थिंक इन सबका कोई ना कोई नजरिया होगा, कोई तजुर्बा होगा।
या।
अ, दीबा मैम है, दीबा मैम तो बल्कि और भी इंटरेस्टिंग सिचुएशन पे हैं, हॉस्टल सुपरिटेंडेंट है।
ओ टफ
जय हिंद
जॉब।
सर। जय हिंद मैम।
जय हिंद, जय हिंद।
दीपा मैम, आपको भी ऐसे चैलेंजेस आते हैं जैसे रिलेशनशिप के हमने इस चैप्टर में डिस्कस किए हैं?
बिल्कुल सर, हम लोग का तो समझिए डे टू डे लाइफ का ये एक एडिशनल चैप्टर बन ही गया है। तो हम लोग को तो जो है इस तरह की सिचुएशन अब एडोलसेंस में इन्फैचुएशंस जो है वो सब हैंडल
हाँ,
करने पड़ते हैं। अब उसमें बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं। ये उनके कजिन ब्रदर हैं या भाई हैं, उनके साथ दो सहेली उनकी, दो दोस्त उनके। अब आप बहुत जल्दी ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं कि मैम कोएड स्कूल है, क्या हम बात भी नहीं कर सकते?
एग्जैक्टली।
इस तरह की सिचुएशंस हैं। अब उसमें जो है वो बहुत सारी चीजें फिर वो अब स्मार्टली हैंडल करना पड़ता है कि हम तुम्हें मॉनिटर कर भी रहे हैं और लगे भी नहीं कि हम मॉनिटर कर रहे हैं। तो इस तरह की सिचुएशंस तो होती रहती हैं रोज ही।
ट्रू।
वृंदा, ये स्टेटमेंट बड़ी पावरफुल थी कि मॉडरेशन करें पर मॉडरेशन विजिबल ना हो।
बिल्कुल,
आप
बिल्कुल।
रोमा के केस में देखें, जैसे उसने क्लास को पूरा हैंडल किया, सो
या,
एवरीथिंग उनको नजर आ रहा था, बट वो दिखाना नहीं चाहती बच्चों को
दिखाना
कि
नहीं
उनको नजर आ
चाहती
रहा है।
थी,
तो I
एग्जैक्टली।
think
या,
ये तरीका है इसको हैंडल करने का, क्योंकि जैसे आप देख रहे हो, रोमा के हर एक लेसन में रिएक्शन नहीं होता,
बिल्कुल।
एक्शन जरूर होगा, बट
एक्शन जरूर
रिएक्शन
होता
कभी
है।
नहीं होगा रोमा
दैट इज
के।
द बेस्ट लेसन फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस टू टेक फ्रॉम हियर।
जी जी।
या,
हमारे पास पीवाईडीएस से भी टीचर हैं जो बहुत रेगुलरली आते हैं।
यस।
मेरे ख्याल उनके पास भी कोई ना कोई परिस्थिति होगी या कोई स्टोरी होगी। हमारे पास मायरा भी है, जो जिसके बारे में हम बात कर सकते हैं। पूजा, रेखा, एनीथिंग यू वांट टू शेयर अबाउट रिलेशनशिप्स एंड हाउ यू हैंडल देम इन अ क्लास? ये बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग चैप्टर है जो हम पढ़ रहे हैं
यस।
इस वक्त। और
I
अब
think
वृंदा जी,
I
दो
find
चैप्टर रह गए
every
ना?
chapter has the way the authors thought about every facet of life in school is
जी
very
जी
interesting because
जी।
ये उन्होंने एक काइंड ऑफ 360 डिग्री एंगल से सब कुछ सोचा है कि
जी
एक स्कूल में टीचर्स को के किन किन तरीकों के प्रॉब्लम हो सकते हैं, और इसको कितने गलत तरीकों से बच्चों के साइकोलॉजी ना समझकर हम लोग हैंडल करते हैं कई बार। तो ये धीरे 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 समझ में आता है कि शायद इस तरह से अगर हम हैंडल करते हैं इसे, तो शायद कुछ और नतीजा निकलता है इसका।
वृंदा जी, प्लीज राइट टू कविता मैम ऑफ रिंगर अप, यू हैव अ फोन नंबर, प्लीज
ओके, आई विल डू
connect with
दैट
Kavita, because
एंड
now
वी
we are
कैन
coming to
कॉल
the
हर।
last two chapters. You
राइट।
tell her that हम लास्ट टू चैप्टर्स में हैं, तो
यस,
जब भी उन्हें समय मिले अगस्त में
आके
आ
हमसे
जाए,
बात करेंगी।
अगस्त सितंबर में कभी भी आ जाए, जस्ट फॉर
हाँ,
हाफ एन आवर 20 minutes in this
राइट,
session. It'll be
दैट विल बी
interesting
नाइस।
because we are meeting her after 10 years of writing this book.
राइट,
We
या,
wrote this book almost 10-15 years
दैट्स
back.
व्हाई आई वाज सेइंग इट्स नॉट ऑफ एग्जैक्टली ऑफ द प्रेजेंट टाइम,
जी
बट
जी
येट थिंग्स हैवंट चेंज्ड मच। यस,
जी जी। ये हमने
राइट,
किताब पहली बार पढ़ी थी 2015 में।
या, दैट्स राइट।
तो हम 10 साल से किताब पढ़ रहे हैं, तो जैसे स्कूल का करिकुलम नहीं बदलता, हमारी किताब भी नहीं बदलती।
Absolutely,
तो आप
absolutely.
प्लीज उनको कांटेक्ट कीजिए, लेट अस सी व्हाट।
I'll do that.
यस,
Yeah,
शील कम ऑन जूम।
I'm sure. Yeah.
एंड we've had, she even at some stage wanted to come to the Fab India school, but
Okay.
then the season was such or time was such when we were reading, her school didn't give her permission because she has a
Right,
job.
right. Okay.
So
Okay,
maybe she
great.
can come on Zoom now. That time there was no Zoom. I'm talking about 2:15. So we
Right.
wanted to physically get her to the school to meet the teachers. And the
Okay.
school was willing to pay for her travel and everything.
Right, yeah.
So maybe we can get her now. किसी
We'll
को
do
कोई
that.
सवाल पूछना है? Then we'll hand it over to Sneha. Before I hand over to Sneha, we are meeting at 5:30. बट जो 5:30 वाला सेशन है वो वेबिनार है और उसके लिए भी रजिस्ट्रेशन अनिवार्य है। ये रजिस्ट्रेशन हमें क्यों अनिवार्य करनी पड़ी? क्योंकि अब हमारे पास पेट्रन्स आ गए हैं जो हमको सपोर्ट करने हैं और गवर्नमेंट एजेंसीज हैं। तो गवर्नमेंट एजेंसीज ने डेटा नहीं मांगा हमारे से, बट दे वांट टू नो द नंबर ऑफ टीचर्स हु अटेंड, बिकॉज उनको स्टैटिस्टिक्स चाहिए। तो इसलिए हमको ये काउंट रजिस्टर करना पड़ा, मैंडेटरी हो गया हमारे लिए। ये अगर आप देखेंगे जो हम प्रोग्राम कर रहे हैं शाम को 5:30 बजे, जिसका वर्कशॉप फर्स्ट होता है और फॉलो बाय प्रोग्राम 48 सेशंस है। और ये जो सेशंस हैं ये इमर्जिंग लिटरेसीज में है। जो मैं वृंदा को बता रहा था कि इमर्जिंग लिटरेसी बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग है। हम फूड के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, फाइनेंस के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, डिजिटल लिटरेसी के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं। और आप अगर इस किताब को इंटरेस्टिंग समझते हैं, आई प्रॉमिस यू, जिस किताब को हम डिस्कस करेंगे 5:30 बजे, 21 लेसन्स फॉर द 21st सेंचुरी, तो आप उसके लिए अवश्य आइए 5:30। रेखा जी यहाँ हैं, वो कहना चाह रही है। मैं क्या, रेखा ने सेशन अटेंड किया लगता है लास्ट वाला। रेखा, डिड यू अटेंड द सेशन टुडे?
Jain sir, yes sir. Sir, session was amazing. That from Preeti ma'am and Tiwari sir. They talked about that financial literacy, how to save that, and कौन से एज में हमें सेविंग करनी चाहिए, तो फिर वो हमें आगे जाके एज में कितना फायदा करेगा for the mutual funds and all. And Preeti ma'am talking about the all the food safety and what is the myth and fact which we really don't know about it. At the like we in the young age हम जाते हैं कुछ भी खरीदते हैं and we only checking the expiry date and only see that logo veg or non-veg. But apart from that, most of the things are there which we don't know about it. And I was surprisingly, sir, that today's session I got to know many things. From now onwards, whenever I go for the shopping, definitely I check that fact.
एक मैं आप लोगों से सीक्रेट शेयर करूंगा यहाँ पे। वृंदा
Yes,
और
sir.
मैंने, चाहे वृंदा और मैं, हम दोनों रिटायरमेंट एज पे हैं, वी आर द सेम एज। और हम
नहीं
इतने
नहीं, मैं
खुश।
रिटायर कर चुकी हूँ।
नहीं, मैं भी रिटायर्ड ही हूँ वृंदा। सो वी आर द सेम एज। और आप हमारे पे खुशी क्यों देखते हैं? क्योंकि हमने टाइम पे थोड़ी थोड़ी सेविंग करी। और आज हम काम इसलिए करते हैं, नॉट दैट कि हमें रोटी खाने के पैसे हमारे पास नहीं है और रिटायरमेंट, घर बार सब कुछ है, भगवान का दिया सब कुछ है। काम इसलिए करते हैं ताकि हम मेंटली तंदुरुस्त रहें। मैं तंदुरुस्त वर्ड मेंटली के लिए यूज कर रहा हूँ।
या
और ये एक बहुत बड़ी चीज है जो आप लोगों को ख्याल करना चाहिए। बिकॉज एज यू ग्रो योर फिजिकल एबिलिटी विल डिबिलिटेट, मतलब कमजोर होगी, बट योर मेंटल एबिलिटी, लेट मी टेल यू, डज नॉट डिबिलिटेट टिल डेथ। I had an 85-year-old mother who would tell me stories of 1940, who could even tell me कि उनके घर में जब लड़ाई हुई थी पार्टीशन पे, कौन आया था और किसने पत्थर फेंके थे। She remembered so much in the age
या
of 80, which shows that the brain doesn't age, but the body ages.
एब्सोल्युटली।
But the body ages. And as I'm also growing old, I'm realizing that my ability to remember, my ability to read, my ability to remember book chapters has suddenly increased. I don't know how. So just to tell you two things. One, the sessions we are doing are new age and you must attend. And I look forward to meeting you all at 5:30. Thank you so much, Brinda, for
थैंक
letting
यू,
me talk so
थैंक
much.
यू,
Thank you so
माय
much.
प्लेजर।
Over to you, Sneha.
ऑल
Sneha,
राइट।
Sneha, you want to wrap up? Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Next Saturday we'd be meeting at 3:30 only. So yeah, that's it.
Sneha, you're very fancy wallpaper.
थैंक यू स्नेहा। थैंक यू, Sandeep. Bye bye everybody, we'll meet
Bye.
next Saturday.